Hi, Grandmama.
Hi, Kate.
What is your name?
I'm Catherine Fagan Toxey.
Am I named after you?
You are indeed.
When were you born?
I was born August the 19th, 1937 in Fort Worth, Texas.
Wow. Can you tell me about your family?
My mother was from East Texas. She went to Rice. She became a librarian. She was a chemist. And she married my father, who was from Comanche, which is just about where we are on the farm. And he went to the University of Texas and majored in business. And they set up shop in Fort Worth.
Is Fort Worth where you grew up?
Yes, it is. I went to school there, and I went to St. John's Church there.
Wow, just like my school.
Yes.
Do you remember liking school?
Very much. I loved school. I loved to read, and I loved all my friends and playing and singing in the chorus and playing for the orchestra, and always loved music and took piano and voice. I had a good time.
How did you get to school?
In elementary school and junior high school, I walked. I guess my mother took me on bad days. But in senior high school, I rode a little yellow school bus with all my friends, and we had a lot of fun.
So you enjoyed riding the bus?
Yes, I did.
How early did you have to get up to catch the bus?
I don't remember, but it was, I'm sure, too early. I especially loved English in high school. English and math.
Is that what you majored in?
I majored in Plan 2 at the University of Texas, which is liberal arts, and also had majors in English and math. Imagine that. And my favorite teacher was Miss Edens, who was a very strict English teacher.
So that was your favorite subject also?
I think it was. I think English always was, both the literature and the grammar.
Since how old have you been coming to Fagan Farm?
I've been coming here all my life. When I was a little girl, my grandparents rented it out to sharecroppers, so we didn't really live out here. They didn't live out here, but since about the time I was in high school, we've come out and stayed in this little rock house, which you see, which was built probably by my great-grandparents way over 100 years ago.
Can you tell me about some games that you played when you were a child?
Hopscotch, marbles, some card games, ice skating. I guess that's not a game. At school we learned round dancing and square dancing and hide and seek and I spy.
What did you like to do at recess?
Jump rope, just like you.
What are some jobs that you've had?
I've only had one job. I didn't work when my children were little, so I've only had one job, and that was in Arlington as a hospital homebound teacher on the high school level. I taught students in high school who were going to be out for a long, long time because they were very sick, and I taught them all their subjects, and I loved it. I loved getting to know them and their pets and their families.
Yes.
That was a nice, wonderful job, and the only one I ever had.
Do you still keep up with some of your students?
A few of them, yes. Most of them just get well and go on, but some of them I do keep up with, and that's fun too.
Great. Well, thank you, Grandmama.
Bye!
Hi, Grandpapa. What is your name?
My name is Walter William Toxey, Jr.
Cool. When were you born?
November 24th, 1925,
Wow. Where were you born?
San Antonio, Texas.
Can you tell me about your family?
Well, yes, my family has been connected to Mexico for many years. My father was with the Royal Canadian Shell Oil Company that developed Mexican oil operations before the Middle East and Near East oil fields were going.
Wow.
He built the port facilities at Tampico, and I had a number of other family members who married into Mexican-American families. So we've had long ties with Mexico. Well, my mother and my sister, though, had problems with living in the tropics in tropical Mexico, and so they moved to be with my aunt, my mother's sister, in San Antonio, whose husband had moved to San Antonio to recover from tuberculosis. In the early years of this century, San Antonio was considered to be the ideal place to recover from tuberculosis. So many people moved there, as did my aunt and uncle.
Where all have you lived in your life?
Well, in the military, I was very fortunate to be assigned to many interesting places. Primarily, San Antonio was one, El Paso was another, and let's see, well, I was stationed in Washington, D.C. In Charlottesburg, Virginia, I was in the Judge Advocate General's Corps, which is the legal branch of the Army. And at that time, it was headquartered at the University of Virginia in Charlottesville. And I lived there many times.
What all have you done in your life?
It has been primarily teaching at college level in several major universities.
What did you teach?
Political science has been my main field, where I got my PhD from the University of Texas, and also various law courses and pre-law organizations.
Where all have you traveled in your life?
Most often to England. Many times. I taught a course about 15 times, that meant 15 summers, in the suburbs of Bristol. And besides England, my daughter and son-in-law have had many have lived long times in France and Italy. And I've also been to the Antipodes, to New Zealand, both twice at lengthy periods from 50 years apart, which is very interesting. In fact, I won a teaching assignment in New Zealand, but I couldn't fulfill it after all. But I was very much interested in living there. And I've traveled to Hawaii several times, and to Thailand, wasn't it?
Thailand?
Thailand. Spain and Spanish America, and Greece, yes.
Thank you, Grandpapa.
De nada.